Hello and welcome to the highlights of day one of this first test match, West Indies versus Sri Lanka. It is the first session and the match happening at the beautiful picturesque Galle International Stadium. The pitch, as it were, was dry and hardly any grass, but there was also a little bit of moisture before the game started. Well, Dimuth Karunaratne was the lucky captain, as the West Indian captain called wrong, and that allowed the Sri Lankan captain to make that choice of batting first. And this is a look at the Sri Lankan team and the West Indies team. Debut for Jeremy Solozano, but the Sri Lankan side pretty settled with lots of spin from both teams. Right, we're ready to start, and let's go across and join the action of this first test match.
Both the openers making their way to the centre. Captain Dimuth Karunaratne along with Pathum Nissanka. Both are able batsmen, possess good technique, know how to handle different situations, and most importantly, once they're in, go big, especially their captain.
Got a habit of getting big scores on this ground. The West Indies fans saw Pathum Nissanka in Antigua, March into April, and looked an impressive player. Early stages of his career, already 100 under his belt, a 50 under his belt.
Sliding down the leg side, sliding down the leg side. That's the angle.
Go in, Jim. Work in, Jim.
Yeah, the thing is, there are very few singles on offer with this field, and I think Karunaratne is looking for that single to try and get off strike. Way too hard with his hands. And he's dropped. That's what he was talking about. Looking for that single, catches the outside edge. And that should have been caught at first slip.
Such an important occasion possibly in the game. Dimuth Karunaratne playing away from his body, looking to try and run it down. Held the edge.
Go in, Jimmy.
Went quite quickly.
Nicely played. Slightly short this time by Cornwall. Going to be a boundary, much important boundary for Dimuth Karunaratne. Has been bogged down in one end. The captain of Sri Lanka.
That's what you got to do. Rare bad ball from the usually accurate Cornwall. Karunaratne not wasting the opportunity.
Work in, Jim.
Slightly short at that time. Dimuth Karunaratne very, very strong. Bread and butter for Dimuth Karunaratne. Loves the pull shot.
That's a poor delivery. He doesn't have the pace. He needs to pitch it up. His forte is pitching it up, get a bit movement through the air and off the seam.
Again, a quicker delivery outside the off stump. And Nissanka managed to work the ball into the gap for a couple of runs. Yeah, 50 on the board. Setting the tone of the game in their favor, these two openers. Looking to play their strokes. Oh, what happened there? Struck very hard and floored.
I hope he's all right. I think he's hit on the head. Now that is a little bit frightening. And Karunaratne, ooh, on the helmet and on the grill. I believe they're calling for a stretcher. They're not taking any chances. He's been stretchered off the field. Solazano, that could be for medical precautions. They're just not taking any chances. So he will be taken. He will be taken possibly for observation. He played off the back foot. Is that out? The West Indian fieldsmen are very confident. In fact, they're thinking of referring it. Let's see.
I heard something. I heard something. Just in the nick of time, he's referred it.
Keep it rolling through, keep it rolling through, keep it rolling through. Yes, satisfied. Fat line as the ball passes the bat. Kumar, you can stay with your original not out decision. You're on camera. Thank you.
Kumar Dharmasena, but it's not been West Indies morning. They've been losing too many things. They've lost 2 reviews out of 3. They lost a player who's been taken off.
Yes, boy.
End of the over. A very good opening session for the Sri Lankan batsman. Posed a good partnership, set the tone of the game in the favour of Sri Lankan team. Opted to bat first, and a very good start into this test match.
As I said, there were a few anxious moments, but they have survived. 6 bowlers used by the West Indies. And in fact, 3 spinners. They bowled 27 overs despite that held up for the injury in the first session. 61 without loss. Sri Lanka as they go into lunch on day 1 of this first test match.
Thanks, everybody.
Sunshine. Delicious lunch. Get us going.
All good, Ruchi?
Awesome chase to continue from the commentary box and Dimit Karunaratne. Salted slip fielder.
Fly.
Selling it on. We go.
Oh, well ball, Ross, boy. On him, man.
Went through everything. Was pulling away from the shot, not taken by the keeper, and that could be 4 byes. Yes, confirmed.
Good hand, Ross.
Didn't really get it as well as he wanted, but may carry all the way for 4. It will.
Showing some aggression there. Dimit Karunaratne down the ground. Using his feet as well. There you guys spoke. Oh, Shannon Gabriel was on his heels.
Miscued it completely. And that's the challenge you want to see the bowler present to the batsman. Poor delivery. Too many bad balls being bowled here by the West Indies.
The deep square leg up, saving the single, bowling that line and length. Bread and butter, Pratham Nisanka, just helping it away.
Adventurous but effective, and the runs continue to flow.
Effective as well as safe outside the offs. There can't be a LBW, even though if it's his bat.
Into the gap, and that's it. Another 50 for the Sri Lankan captain. Very well played. Innings of responsibility and authority.
Coming back after a long break from international cricket. What a way to mark his half century.
Catch him. Don't touch him. Good
He's
up.
driven through the extra covers. Karunaratne still in excellent touch. That's 2 men in on the drive now. Catches the edge again through slips. West Indies have been very unfortunate in that section.
Oh,
It's a poor ball again. Plenty of time and plenty of room for Pathum Nissanka to rock back onto his back foot and cut that through cover point for 4.
Had that ball a bit slower, result could have been different.
That's a beautiful delivery. He's beaten the bat so many times today, Holder, without much luck.
Usage of feet was in the air.
Well, that's exactly what he wanted, Cornwall. Karunaratne driving, he did exactly that. But Cornwall didn't catch it. It was too late by the time he got down.
This is poor bowling. This is really poor bowling. Drag down shot, and that becomes a gift to Pathum Nissanka. Pathum Nissanka already made 100, a solitary half century in his short test career. And that's his second. A very well made second test 50 for young Pathum Nissanka. Spoken of when he came on the scene, and he continues to deliver on the promise that has been shown, and the dressing room appreciates it. It's a big moment. Off the edge, he's taken a slip, and Gabriel has got a wicket. Spoke about Nissanka, spoke about his average, and a fairly simple catch, or at least Cornwall made it look simple. The way he took it, bucket-like hands at first slip, made sure that he caught it. And a much needed breakthrough for the West Indies has come.
Big relief for the West Indians. Poor shot by Pathum Nissanka, got to be said. Scoring 56, did the hard work. One mistake.
Osha the Fernando, in someone who's fledgling career, 12 games, average just under 40. What's that 102 he made?
Badly lined, and that's going to be 4.
Catch it, Laurie. Catch it, catch it.
Oh, that's a drop chance again. And a pretty regulation catch put down by Warrican.
Beaten in the flight, went through with the shot and couldn't close the hands on the ball quickly enough.
Oh, shot.
Driven into the covers or extra cover, that's beaten the fielder. Just leant into that drive, watch it all the way. I don't think he was looking for more than a single when he first hit it.
You can set your stall out for the rest of the evening into that final session, because we've reached the tea interval of day 1.
A 102 runs scored in that second session, 30 overs at a run rate of 3.4. Just that solitary wicket for the West Indies. Dimut Karunaratne coming back in with Osha the Fernando for a nice cup of tea. Looking to end the day on a high for Sri Lanka.
Catch it, bottom. Yes.
That was in the air and taken.
Yes, work.
After tea, he's decided to bowl with the right pace. He's lurking around 80 kilometers per hour, and he's been rewarded. It was a good catch, inside edge, and well anticipated catch by Bonner at short leg. Joy for the West Indian team right after tea break.
Well, a sharp chance, a sharp two-handed catch. Osha the Fernando pretty unlucky, out immediately after tea for 3. Sri Lanka 164 for 2. Possibly Sri Lanka's most experienced fact, the most experience. That average in the mid-40s. Good record for Angelo Matthews.
Oh, jeez.
That's good. Good flight.
Oh, play and a miss. Play and a miss. This has a lot to do with the line and length that Holder has bowled to both the right-hander and the left-hander.
That's the advantage of having the batsman tethered for a few maiden overs. Haven't allowed the batsman to break free, hence a false stroke.
Catch it, catch him.
Miscued, should be taken. Miscued and misjudged, but eventually taken. Just for a moment, it looked as if he had badly misjudged. In the end, his great height made the difference, and the West Indies pressure has paid off with another wicket for Austin Chase.
Yeah, man of the hour, Jason Holder, did misjudge it. Poor shot from Angelo Matthews. Got to be set with a deep mid-on fielder as well as a deep square leg. Bucket-like hands. Jason Holder did misjudge it to begin with, but made sure held on to it. Angelo Matthews gone for 3. Sri Lanka losing their third for 170.
Poor delivery. Really gave him the opportunity to get going short and wide, and he was able to pick his spot.
Lucky outside edge for a boundary. That time nicely bowled by Shannon Gabriel. Neatly played as well. Dimuth Karunaratne, the soft hands, gliding it across, moving it to 97.
Too wide, too short, and got the treatment. Going quickly for one, will come back for the second. That's going to be it. Excellent batting from the Sri Lankan captain. He's in a rich vein of form in 2021. His departing coach applauds the effort once more. Dimuth Karunaratne, a 13th Test match 100. His 7th in the first innings, again reinforcing his value at the start of any Test match for Sri Lanka. His 4th in goal, his 2nd against the West Indies, and again responding to that responsibility as captain. His 5th as Test match leader of Sri Lanka.
That's why the reverse is so effective. It is just so effective. You bowl that line just outside the off stump. You're a good reverse sweeper, and that's what you're going to get.
And that's a risk-free shot almost without the slip in there.
Catch it.
Down the wicket, very safe option. And down to the boundary for 4. Well, that's what we're talking about. That's a tweet from the West Indies Cricket Board, and that is very good news indeed.
Go War.
Solzano, Jeremy Solzano's scan shows no structural damage, which is very good news. Nicely worked off the stumps. The 50 partnership in quick time here. Just 68 balls, Dhananjay De Silva.
Opting for the new ball straight away. West Indian captain. And not a bad ploy, this.
Come on, Jamaat.
Pronouncing new ball. For the off spinner, who likes to hurl the ball into the stumps.
Working, Jim. Come on, boys.
Can pay off.
Jeez, that was a very hard sweep.
Clear intent straight away by Dhananjay De Silva.
What a shot that was.
Stand and deliver. Brings up the 25th boundary for Sri Lanka today.
And that's his 50. His 9th in Test match cricket, along with 700s. making most of the opportunity, Dhananjaya.
Well, we're not going to get the final 2 overs of the day to complete 90 because the umpires have determined that the light is not good enough. So this will be our marker essentially for the rest of the test match with the high cloud just blocking out the late evening sun. But it's been a good day for Sri Lanka, led by their captain from the front, top of the order, winning the toss, batting first, taking advantage of the ideal conditions. And it therefore means that he goes in together with Dhananjaya de Silva. An excellent partnership, and again another session of over 100 runs. Karunaratne has held firm throughout the day. A long day, a draining day for the West Indies, but a productive day for Karunaratne and Sri Lanka.
Bowlers, except for Josh De Silva and who else doesn't bowl, Nkrumah Bonner, almost everyone got a bowl. Again, without much success. Roston Chase with the 2 wickets, Gabriel with 1 up front. The rest of the West Indian bowlers, lot of toil with very little reward.